that's a big one too. Oh yeah, that's that big school. Big old giant redfish. He's a big one. He's a big one. Okay. Oh, he might be 40 pounds. I don't know how big he is. He's gigantic.
He is the current record holder with 9 BASS Angler of the Year awards, has 19 BASS tournament wins, and qualified for the Bassmasters Classic 25 times.
Here I am, the redfish capital of the world, Plaquemines Parish, Louisiana, Venice, Louisiana, and Venice Marina. Now, today we're gonna go after some big giant bull redfish. Bull reds are 20 to 40 pounds. These are big fish. They're hitting bass tackle, buzzbait, spinnerbaits, jigs of all sorts, even topwater plugs. I'm gonna run down the river about 20 miles, try some of the shallow marshes. This is shallow water, pretty clear water. Let's get going. You know, I was talking at Venice Marina to one of the head guides. His name's Bobby Warren, and he kind of put me on this spot. But Bobby's a great guide out of Venice Marina. But one thing he was talking about was slow rolling a spinnerbait. Now, what slow rolling is really not rolling at all. It's just slowing it down so that the blades turn slowly and they kind of roll. So it's, in other words, throw it out there and, you know, maybe hold your rod up, but just kind of really don't run it real fast. Just kind of slow and easy. And the redfish, you know, they're pretty aggressive. Oh, what was that? Now, one thing about a redfish is that there's, of course, tide water here, and there's certain parts of the tide that they bite best. Now, I don't know. I'm fishing the whole day, and I'm fishing the whole tide from low water to high water, so whatever, I'm fishing the whole time. So it doesn't make a whole lot of difference for me. I'm gonna go out early in the morning and then stay late in the evening. You can catch them all day long, but sometimes on falling water, it's sometimes best at the mouth of these creeks. Now, what we're doing, we're in this little bay, and there's some small little creeks that come in, and of course, with falling water coming out into the bay, that'd be the best situation. Oh, there's one, son. Oh, yeah. Hit right at the boat. Oh, yeah. That's a good fish. he's not a bull red. He's just a medium-sized one. 8 or 10 pounds, but boy, he hit right on this point. There's a big old swirl there, mud swirl. That's what it is. Now I have these gloves. I'm gonna get these gloves and I'll show you just how to handle these redfish. You know, Bill Dance, Jimmy Houston and I got together with the 3 Legends, and we got these 3 Legends products, and one is these 3 Legend gloves. Let me get them. Okay, now here are some 3 Legends gloves. Now, Jimmy and Bill and I, we're only endorsing the best products we could get. And these are these fish gloves. I'm telling you, you're talking about something. When you're talking about big redfish, it's kind of hard to hold them. Let's see, oh, he's coming around this way. So what I'm gonna do is these gloves are so good, you can come in like this with your hand in his mouth, like this. As he opens his mouth, and he can put his finger kind of like underneath his chin like that. That's a perfect combination. Now here in Louisiana, the limit's 5 per day per person. Now this is what they call a little over the slot. When they're 27 inches or longer, they're considered a bull red, well, a bigger fish, and you can only keep 1 out of the 5. Can be over 27, that's probably 28 or 29. And they're probably 8 or 9, about 9 or 10 pounds. Okay, I'm gonna let him go. Take these gloves off, I'll show you exactly what I'm using. It's a great, great, great spinnerbait. Again, bass tackle is great for fishing for redfish. So the spinnerbait's a bass spinnerbait, okay? Regular 3/8 ounce, but I'm running a 50-pound braid. That's 50-pound diamond braid on a 7-foot Roland Martin tournament grade rod and a nice Bass Pro Shop reel. Good drag. Okay, let's get back to that point. Now, the secret was I was kind of watching for mud swirls. Water's kind of clear. Those fish are kind of moving around, and you'll see a mud swirl every once in a while. When you do, throw a couple times right into that little muddy, puffy area, and that paid off.
Bass Pro Shops presents Fishing with Roland Martin. Brought to you by Tracker Boats, fish the finest. Gary Yamamoto Custom Baits, designed by fishermen for fishermen. And by Bass Pro Shops, your adventure starts here. Closed caption provided by Spro Lures. Bass Pro Shops is a proud sponsor of Fishing with Roland Martin.
Oh, there's one. Oh, there's one. Oh, yeah. I don't know how big he is. Oh, son. Feels like it's, who knows? Who knows? Another bull red, yeah. It's nice on bass tackle. But remember, because of all the heavy stuff in the water here, you need some heavy line. Now, I just go straight braid. In most cases, I don't even want to throw a leader of any sort. That's an oversized fish again. Remember, the limit's 5 each, and only one can be this size. You know, anything over 27 is what they consider that bigger fish, and this is over 27. Not quite a real big bull or anything, but it's for light tackle, it's a lot of fun. Okay, my 3 Legends fish gloves, and I'll be ready to get him loose. About a 10 or 15 pounder. When they're this size, they're quasi bulls. Not quite the biggest bull in the world, but hey, those things get hooked. Redfish get hooked the best of any fish in the whole world. Once they get hooked, they're pretty much hooked. The hook doesn't pull much. A nice, big, fat fish. Oh, okay, hook out of my hand. But these gloves made a difference. It's a really good idea to watch, have good polarized sunglasses on, and watch for what's happening. Watch your bait. And so many times you'll see a fish follow it. Being ready, being just ready and just being alert and just aware of what's happening is just a big, big, big part of fishing. And for sight fishing, it's the most important part. And we've seen a lot of boils, we've seen a lot of big clouds of mud kick up, and that's all an indication that the redfish are there. The Louisiana Delta, the Mississippi River Delta of Louisiana, is comprised of over 1 million acres of marsh and streams and bayous like we see today. Now, these little channels like we're in open up into bays, and so a lot of the redfish are on the bays that are adjacent to the Gulf of Mexico. So I'm going to just ease out to the more open area and possibly more windy area. I think that's where the big bull reds will be. They hit. I had a couple bites, but I looked down and I could see the big puffs of mud. I don't know. Oh, there's one. There's one. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's a big one too. Oh, yeah. That's that big school we're facing. Look at him taking my line. He's just taking line. He's just taking line right now. Oh, Lord. Big giant fish. 25, 30, possibly bigger fish than that. I don't know how big they are. Really big fish. Uh-oh. There's a bunch of fish following him. There's another fish here. What size of him? What size of him? There's 2 or 3 here. 2 or 3 other bass. Big old giant redfish. Ah. Oh, I'm telling you, I don't know how to get them. Big old spinnerbait fish. They were all over the place in here. I don't know if I can get them or not. I'm gonna try to take my glove. And what I'm gonna try to do is grab a hold of the spinnerbait. It's about a 25 pounder. Try to grab a hold of the head of the spinnerbait, maybe lift him in that way. I don't have a very good way of getting them. Over 20 pounds, getting right like this. Oh, he's a big one. He's a big one. Okay, I'm gonna drop him back on. Ah, there's a whole bunch of them in here. They're all hitting together. I don't know if they're back this way farther or not. They were on that point, but they might be moving this way. Big, giant school.
Fishing with Roland Martin is brought to you by Frog Toss. Whatever you do, there's a suit for you. Mako Boats presents this segment of Fishing with Roland Martin.
You know, when you're down in these big bays down in Louisiana, one of the essential ingredients is bait, having plenty of bait. So what you look for are these big pelicans or seagulls diving on the bait. So here's a bay, it's full of bait. There ought to be a bunch of redfish here. Making a long cast is kind of deal. That's helpful, that's helpful. Long cast. Oh! 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 Oh gosh. Oh, he's underneath the boat. Woo! Look at this guy. Another 25 or 30 pounder. Ah! Just gigantic. The size of him, he might be the biggest one today. He might be 40 pounds. I don't know how big he is. He's gigantic. Woo! He's at least, he's like 30. He's like 30 pounds. I'm gonna try to lift that hook in. It might straighten the hook out on the spinnerbait. That's the only problem. But it's an easy way to land them if you don't care if he gets away. But it's a 30-pound redfish is what it is. It's just gigantic. I'm gonna grab the head of the thing. Grab the head like this. He might get off. We'll see. Uh-oh. I can't get him out. I couldn't get him. He's so heavy. He's too damn heavy. He's so heavy. He's so big. He's so big and heavy. Another 30 pounder. What do you think, folks? Think there's fish down here in Plaquemines Parish? 30 pounds? Oh, son, he is big. Spinnerbait time. Woo! I don't know how many there are. It's unbelievable. Oh, son. Right off that bank about 100 feet. Another monster. Another 25 or 30 pounder. Getting a spinnerbait. Little old bass bait. Big, giant one. Most of the time, the redfish are so, they have such a meaty mouth that you can put a lot of pressure on them, and you can fish awfully hard and pull awfully hard, and it won't give out. These are monster fish. These are, you know, I live in Florida, and we don't have